I cannot believe your house,
You
Nick. Oh my God. I feel like
guys gotta come over. It's
I mean, are
something.
you kidding me? Look at my backdrop next to yours. That is just not even like what?
No, no, I think it's the angle, to be honest.
It's
I don't
gorgeous.
think so.
It's
It's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
I've got a cat and a husky both behind me, very happy. So
Gorgeous.
yeah,
Okay.
they might walk in at some point. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up my PowerPoint and screen share, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna be kind of leading the call today and showcasing you guys. Casey's gonna chime in at certain points because part of this was teaming with marketing to get you guys some resources on just some ideas. Today is literally it's like a mastermind today. I just want you guys to know that. So today is literally all brainstorming. So I really am going to encourage people to chime in. We're going to do a couple of walkthroughs on how you guys can use Facebook Live, or how to do Facebook Live, also how to do Zoom, because I know those are going to be a couple of the big topics today. Please use the chat window throughout the call today. That's the big thing. If you hover over your screen, you should see a little chat bubble at the very bottom. Can you guys go ahead and just write yes or something in there that you can hear me and that you can use chat, just so that we know that it's working for you real quick? That'd be awesome. Yes, got it. Yep. I think a lot of you guys are also becoming experts at this whole Zoom thing by now, which is pretty cool. Even in just a week or two time, you guys have become pretty fluent. So awesome. If anybody has any trouble, if you're getting text that somebody cannot get on, just remember this is going to be recorded. So you will be okay at some point. We'll send it out. I think the recording yesterday's call with Chris and Phil really was huge. And keep in mind, today's training is all about supporting you guys. So if there's something that I say that doesn't make sense, or if there's something that you guys are like, hey, we really need to elaborate more on that idea, let me know. We can create a training around it. All of this is as new to us as it is to you guys. It's not like I've had a bunch of virtual trainings in my back pocket waiting for this moment to happen, nor has Casey. So we're adapting just like you guys are adapting. Okay, cool. So let's get right into it. I wanted to start off with a couple of slides because basically, guys, I have been literally YouTubing and webinaring the past week or two hardcore for you guys so that you had something to go off of and navigate in the future. I know Casey's also going to be even on like 2 or 3 calls just tomorrow on different tactics people are using across the country right now. So it's ever evolving, ever changing, but wanted to give you peace of mind that we are, to some degree, okay. I think we've all jumped into hysteria and we all are getting really down about the market. I talked to some realtors outside of our brokerage this last week, and a lot of them are very negative. And I was kind of shocked to see how much negativity they were spewing out just to me in like a private conversation about what's going on. Even though I know so many people are so busy right now and so happy. So I thought, why don't we look at some stats and kind of see where we're at before we get into anything further. And yes, you guys can have all of these slides. I have no use to keep them. So don't stress on like snapping photos or anything like that. You can just have it, all right? 30-year fixed rate mortgage. Look how we are still in a good position. I know they bottomed out at the very first week of March and it was like, oh, rates are amazing. And then they went up a point or two and people started to freak out again. Just keep in mind that we are still in a good place regardless of that. That's just something to keep in mind. You don't want to let me click, huh? Okay. Also, I think we get in our heads a lot lately about how we think because the S&P or the equities market or the stock market's correcting itself, and yet we think that real estate has to act exactly the same way. And historically, if you look at the correction that happened between 2007 and 2009 with the S&P 500, in relativity to the stock market or to the housing market, you can see a huge difference in the way things react in the housing market versus that. And remember, 2008 is the biggest crash we've seen in a very long time. So to look at that difference there is pretty crucial. And I know some markets dip more than 20% in real estate. It's not like that's across the board, but those were the averages that we saw during that time. Also, a couple of things to note why this is not like 2008. This would be, I just put this on here so you guys could share this with your clientele because I think that this is just a good slide to show people. It talks about interest rates, talks that we still have plenty of business. There's going to be a couple of slides coming further compared to the last, compared to having this bullet point list for you guys. So just stay tuned. Also, look at this in relativity to the dot-com crash and the 9/11 crash, meaning that real estate doesn't have to necessarily tank just because we're having issues um, in, again, the stock market. I think people are, again, parlaying that together. We actually saw appreciation during the dot-com and the 9/11 crash and whatnot that we had going on during that time. So these are just really great to show your clients. And I'm putting these on here because we're going to talk in a minute about e-blasting and what you guys should be sending out to your people. And these would be good to show. So where do we go from here? You guys all jacked up? You excited?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay, so virtual showings. They have become the biggest topic right now with what people want to be doing with their listings. And I know Casey's got some ideas, but really quick, I want to give a huge shout out to Lori Scarborough. She went and did a virtual showing recently. I think Casey might have just posted another one today.
I did. I posted hers on our Inside Scoop just a few minutes ago. I'm actually posting another one of hers right now too.
Please watch that, you guys. That is a great example of what you can do. And you're going to notice that Lori talks a lot more during these types of videos. You know, she's more engaged. She's giving you descriptions on different angles, you know, to really look at in this house and where your mind or your vision goes when you first enter a room, because she's literally walking you through the property as if you were there. So that's a really great example to point out. I know that Casey and I talked a lot about having a seller actually record a property because, you know, I wish I could do a show of hands right now. How many people are having issues with having their sellers or people in properties not wanting you to even come visit? You know, how many people are cutting off that kind of even communication where the realtor's not even allowed to go there? So who's in that property? Your seller, most likely, right? And go ahead, Casey.
So I went to my grandma's vacant property yesterday and like pretended like I was, you know, her, like the seller, and took numerous shots of me like walking up to the house and going through the property. And I'm gonna model the video that I'm gonna put together like I am the seller, and showing you guys what you can send your clients step by step, like instructions for them to make that happen. And then from there, they can send it directly to me and I can piece it together for you guys and for them and add overlays and music if they don't want to talk, and branding for you. So I'm going to be sending step-by-step instructions for you to send your clients, just so if they're not comfortable with you going to their house with them not there, they can still partake and they can, you know, do their due diligence as your clients and still market the property to the best of their abilities. So that's the next piece I'm going to be putting out in a little bit.
Thanks, Casey. That's awesome. So you'll have that example for them pretty soon?
Yes. And then along with the instructions for them to send to their clients on how to do the video and so forth.
Yeah, and I think that that's a big thing right now. I've been on a couple of calls the last few days, and a big thing is coaching your sellers also on how to use Facebook Live, how to use Zoom, all of these different tools, even just to record a video on their phone, how to hold the camera, that kind of thing. And we're going to be getting even into some of that today on Facebook Live and how to operate that. I had some great slides from one of Casey's friends that was given to me, so we'll be going over that in a second. But also coaching them on how to actually go through the property and point out not just the most amazing things, because keep in mind, if we're showing property to people, we're not always just looking to show the most amazing things in the house. We're also trying to point out like, hey, there might be a scratch here or whatever, like almost incorporating your avid into your video that you're doing so that people get a realistic picture of what's going on in this home. I think one of the points that was pointed out to me by a top producer is that when you're doing these virtual walkthroughs, it's great to be super positive and over the top. It's also great to show some realistic maybe flaws about the home or things that you could improve on, because you're going to get more buyers buy-in, because that's honesty being showcased in that video. So that was something I heard from a top producer yesterday. I really like that point. Also, people are talking about showings and how do you incorporate a showing right now if a buyer wants to see a house. Somebody gave me the example that their client's pregnant yesterday, and they said that they don't want to leave the house because they're pregnant and they could be at risk and all of this. And I said, oh my gosh, why don't you just do a Zoom call? And this came up on another call that I was on, and you could do a Zoom call with the actual seller walking through the property, have the listing agent on the call so they feel like they can be there as their fiduciary for their client, have the buyer and you as the buyer's agent be on the call, on a Zoom call with that seller walking through that property. You know, and who's going to showcase that property better and be more honest and realistic than the seller themselves anyways? So there could be a lot of positivity and good features to be shown just by using, again, virtual technology such as Zoom. So any thoughts on that before we move any further?
Yes, Jennifer, I have a question.
Yeah.
So before this craziness, the message was your sellers really shouldn't be in the property, especially during open houses, because they can say something. Like, I know my sellers would talk up stuff that literally they shouldn't be, that it could get them legally into some issues. Like my seller saying, oh, we did a little tweak on this when actually it was a major tweak, So how do we avoid that issue? Because I could see sellers talking up their property and then down the road, there being major legal issues on that.
Yeah, I think right now what we're trying to do is we're trying to just create access, right? And I think this comes down to, just like I would coach a buyer before they entered a property lately. We just had that sales meeting not too long ago where people were talking about how the sellers can hear buyers through like their Ring doorbell or their Ring cameras. So that same sense of coaching your buyer through, hey, here's how I want you to handle this situation when you go visit this property. I think now we just have to do the same thing with our sellers. Like, hey, they're going to be there. They're going to be present. Here's how I want you to handle this situation. I don't want you to lie or do anything, non-fiduciary, like to the buyer, or, non-ethical, but I want you to showcase the property how I would, and here are some bullet points on how I would handle that. Does that make sense, Jen? I think it comes back to that coaching factor that we were talking about earlier. Kim says, Zoom works across platforms where FaceTime or Skype are not. What is the cost? I have a whole slide in here just on Zoom, so we'll have the cost breakdown, and I'm actually going to walk you through how to do a Zoom call today. Okay, so just we're going to get there. We're going to get there. But great question. For having one-on-one meetings no longer than 40 minutes is free. Otherwise, the next plan. Yeah, so we're going to get into the cost and all of that stuff later. Casey, anything to add on this one?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay.
How long should the videos be?
So virtual open houses. I know a lot of people are asking me how to do virtual open houses. From what I can tell on the webinars I've been on lately, guys, Facebook Live is an amazing option. Also, again, like we talked about a minute ago, having your seller, if you can't go to the house, because I know in the past we've been able to actually at least go visit the house and quarantine ourselves in the house and use those safety best practices. If you don't feel comfortable or you don't feel like you can get there, have your seller who lives there do a Facebook Live video. Or if the property's vacant, I don't see what would be terrible about going and quarantining yourself in that house and being able to do a Facebook Live event from that house. So I think that would be totally within the safety protocols that we've been talking about. And again, you're going to need to coach your seller on how to do Facebook Live. There are actually slides in this presentation today on how to coach somebody through Facebook Live. So you can share this even with your seller to help them out. And I think a big thing that I'm noticing that's kind of cool about this whole thing is that realtors are having to really band together right now. They're having to become one again. And I know in the past, we've had the top producing agents in our business that try to double end everything and work on their own, or, people who act unethical in our business. I think we're always going to have that. It's just the inevitable of how we operate. But it's cool now, I'm noticing, is that we have to band together. And I was going to ask you guys on the chat window, if you know of any Facebook groups or different pages out there that people can be sharing their listings on, or doing plugs and wants like buyer needs or something like that. This is the time to really dig down and go into those pages. There are thousands of realtors on these pages, like Long Beach Real Estate and Lakewood Real Estate. If you know of the names of those pages, please share them with each other. I don't have a list. Casey, do you have a list?
Yeah, I have about 9 that I actively share agents' properties into throughout the Long Beach, like the greater Long Beach real estate community. So I'll put those in the chat right now. And all you guys need to do is search for them just in the little toolbar on Facebook and hit join. And normally the moderator of the group then just ensures that you are part of the real estate network in one way or another, and then they add you in.
Cool.
So I'll put those in right now.
That'd be awesome. That would be amazing. Because I think in this day and age, I think this is going to be crucial for you guys to band together. We've talked about, as a company, we're going to be doing like your marketing time, or where you can do your plugs and wants on weekly calls when we have Chris and Phil, and we might be even doing it every other day at this point. We might have a call with them tomorrow. We'll keep you posted on that, but you guys really need to band together as much as you possibly can and use those Facebook pages as communication channels. They're also, a lot of those channels have a lot of great content right now for you guys to go off of too. You can share with your clientele and stay ahead of the curve, because I know that's what we're trying to do. I did put a link here for YouTube. You guys will see that there. It's a tutorial on how to do Facebook Live. If you feel like the slides today are not enough, this was the best video I could find. It's only about 10 minutes long. It's an Australian guy who's got a lot of followers, and he can go ahead and walk you through how to do a Facebook Live video efficiently. I think there's about 8 or 9 tips or tricks for you guys to use on there, okay? So that's why that YouTube link is there. Okay.
Hey, Nick, quick question. How are we going to get this? Are you going to send this to us, this PowerPoint?
I'm going to email it to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you.
I'm going to email it to you for sure. Yeah, you guys will get it one way or another. And then here is just kind of the steps, the steps 1 through 6 on how to do a Facebook Live video. So again, going into your phone, creating a post on Facebook, and you're going to scroll down those tabs there till you get to the Facebook Live option. Click on the Facebook Live option, and then you're going to basically write a description. And again, this is where you guys probably want to create a nice call to action or something. I think this is where you can get a little bit more creative with it and write maybe a little something about the property, maybe a rent versus own option, why it would be, cost effective for them to own this property instead of renting if that property seems to be qualify for that, or maybe showcasing a wow factor like the view, pool, whatever that may be for them there. Casey, are you handling people's comments for me, or should I read them?
I just responded to Alma.
Okay.
I haven't been reading everyone's, so sorry.
Oh, you don't have to.
Try to multitask. Try to do 10 things at once.
I know. I can look.
I think you responded to Kim though, right?
I believe so. Yeah. We're gonna get to the costs of.
And I just talked about the videos. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer right now with videos, because it's like Lori's property, for example, was 3 levels. So it's like she started off with the first one, did like about a minute there, then went inside to the second floor, did about a minute there, then went to the 3rd floor terrace, did a minute there. So it's like normally people would lose interest in about 45 seconds or a minute, but now more than ever, people are actually watching these videos. I saw this crazy stat the other day saying like people are using social media and on Facebook like 200% more than usual. Yeah. And that just shows like how important it is to be, relevant on there now. Don't like being quarantined. Oh, I love that, Nicole.
And you guys have to think that right now, people are wanting to gobble up content because they're stuck at home. So I don't think a long video is necessarily a bad thing right now, because people have more time to watch that video. So the more detailed you guys want to be, I would say go longer right now than go shorter. Does that make sense? Because you're not necessarily trying to hook them in the midst of their daily life. They're quarantined, so they want to see more as much as they possibly can right now. And this is the step that I totally messed up on a video the other day, or maybe it was last week. Turn your video 90 degrees. Make sure it is horizontal. That is a key thing. I will show you why on this screen. You guys remember that video? Oh, Charlie bit me, right? Remember that? So this video here, notice how when the phone is vertical, their face, the little baby's face is cut off. And when it's horizontal, it captures the whole thing. And Casey was filling me in too, and the fact that it actually shows up better on our feeds on Facebook and Instagram anyways when it's horizontal. So key thing there, that's why we do it.
Wait a minute. You can't do Facebook Live horizontally though, can you? I mean, with your phone, can you?
Yeah, look. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I thought you could.
No, that's okay. No, that's a great question. Yeah, you can, for sure. I was totally, I walked in, it was so funny. I did a video, I think it was Thursday or Friday last week. I walked in and I told Casey, and Casey goes, no, Nick, you need to do it horizontal. I was like, okay, I messed up. All right, very good. So yes.
Honestly though, like either way works. It's just, if you do it vertically, you get those black bars on the side. And it's like, you'll see on Lori's video, she recorded it vertically. And when I imported it into iMovie for her, since it doesn't let you move the screen around, the top of her head is cut off.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
So
so
Instagram is the same way. Instagram Live, you can also do horizontally.
Instagram Live, you can do horizontally.
Ooh, I don't know
Like
the
in
answer to
your
that.
story? Let me see. Let me pull it up.
Good question, Jen.
I'm so confused.
So live,
My mind is being blown right now.
well, it's gonna show up. I mean, it'll be tilted in live on Instagram. Like it will not adjust it to be the other way.
Oh, so it's locked vertically. Okay.
It
That's good
is.
to know.
It looks like it is. Yeah, it looks like it's locked vertically in live. Doing it live on your story.
The next thing, guys, just to make sure when you're done with the video, you guys will see the little finish button in the corner. That's great. The step that's not on these slides is the next page that comes up when you hit finish, and it asks you where to share it, like on your timeline and your stories. Make sure you check both of those and make sure that it's being shared as much as it possibly can. There's also going to be a little save icon to where you can actually save that video too. So those options are there as well once you go past the screen that's in front of us right now that says finish. Just something to keep in mind. Ross says, I think that's the issue. Facebook and Instagram have different screen formats. Oh, maybe that's why I thought the way I thought. I don't know. I was so certain the other day and I just felt like a Dumbo at the end of that.
You can't be live in both of them at the same time, really. So if you want to do it live on Facebook and then do like another walkthrough and actually record it, and then you can upload that to your story on Instagram.
The other thing I've noticed is with my business page, it doesn't give me, if I'm on my business page on Facebook, it doesn't give me the option to do a live video. Does that make sense? Is that option there somewhere? Because
it should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be on both. And that was actually going to be my next comment was I'm watching different webinars right now and people are saying, oh, you got to do it on your business page. Some people are saying, no, you got to do it on your personal page. I'm getting totally mixed reviews from big time agents. Here's what I'm going to say. Do the Facebook Live video where your sphere of influence would normally be. Typically, that's going to be on your personal page. If you don't feel comfortable putting the kind of content that you're putting out, which we're going to talk about different types of content in a second. So maybe if it's more real estate related, maybe it's on your business page. And if it's more personal or something more fun for your sphere of influence, it's going to be on your personal page. Use your best judgment. I would say mix and match. Maybe do it on both and see what works.
Exactly.
You know, Facebook Live videos should be being done as much as you possibly can right now. Something else to keep in mind about Facebook Live, I don't know if you guys noticed this, when you're on Facebook, you'll see it'll say, oh, so-and-so is live. It notifies everybody. And just so you guys know that Facebook Live videos get 3 times more views. This came from a social media expert I was watching the other day. They get 3 times more views than any other video content on Facebook. So everybody's triggered to watch you when you go on Facebook Live. So even though the concept of doing a Facebook Live videos may be old news, I think a lot of us still have not taken advantage of this. And now is the time to really get in there and play with it if you haven't played with it before.
Okay, I'm going to ask a really, really lame question. Are there filters on Facebook Live that you can use? Or, you know what I mean? To like, because I've never been able to figure that out. Like do we know, Casey, I'll probably reach out to you about that. Because just to make the property look nice, you know what I mean? Put like a nice filter on it as opposed to sometimes.
Video.
They've got that little wand.
I mean, they have weird stuff like adding hearts and everything, but is there like, you know, when you slide photos in Facebook story or Instagram and it gives you a really nice filter?
I don't think that's on there, Jen.
Okay. Just wondering. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Casey answer that question. I'm just not too sure. Your friends and followers can comment and like your video while you are recording it. So this is the next big thing. If you guys are going to do a Facebook Live video and you see people are chiming in, when you're on your video, you will see how many people are actually watching you at that given moment. And it will even tell you who's watching. So you have the opportunity to like call people out, ask questions, and do things that way, which is really great for engagement. which is the next big part of social media.
Mhm.
It's not just putting it out there, but engaging back. So if you can wave at people, that's an option to wave while they're watching. Or if you can actually go ahead and talk to them or type a message in while you're Facebook living. Obviously, this is usually more easily done with a laptop instead of doing it on your phone. But definitely something that you can partake in, and I think it's really crucial to your business. Jeanette says, does it stay on your site once the live broadcast is over? Yes, it can become a post if you want it to be. Yes. Another pro tip, and we're going to maybe talk about this a little bit more in a minute with some different creative ideas I was thinking of. I do have some original ideas on this slide thing today, and I hope you guys like them. So we'll see what you think. Pro tips: give people a reason to reach out to you. So we're just asking you guys like what you could basically say while you were doing a live video walkthrough or live video open house. Do you like this upgrade? Do you know what your house is worth? What does this have to do? What does this house have that you would love in yours? Or any kind of question. They have a funny one here. Could you see yourself quarantined here? I've been seeing that go around a lot while people are doing showings and different things like that for real estate ads. But if you guys have any great questions or things you would ask while you were in that listing, it's a great time to do it while you're on Facebook Live. Oh, thank you, Casey. That's awesome. Okay, so prospecting communication. So I think a lot of us right now, while we're quarantined, we're doing pretty well, I think, on maintenance and making sure that our deals are still going through or talking to our clientele, but we're not being proactive maybe necessarily about new clientele. And I think the big question right now, they were showing all of these terrible posts that people are doing in the webinar I was in yesterday. They were giving a lot of examples of all the terrible things that people are putting out there, like spreading more fear, talking about more deaths that are happening. And it's not that, guys, it's not that I don't want you to be aware of what's happening in our industry right now and what's happening in the world. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of people are being able to connect better and build better relationships by showing people that we care about them or reaching out proactively. And instead of getting maybe caught up in what's on Facebook or the newest article or whatnot, maybe taking a few hours out of your day right now while you're home and you have time, you can be creating some email updates. BombBomb is an amazing email software that does video emailing for you. For anybody who wants to learn BombBomb, feel free to message me privately. I can do a Zoom call with you guys one-on-one or maybe as a small group. It's a bit more intense of a software, but it's not impossible to learn. It's really user-friendly, actually, if you just take a few minutes to dabble. So I can do a class on BombBomb separately if that works for you guys. It is $29.99 a month, so it's $30 a month for that service. So we're not going to talk too much about BombBomb today, but it is an email video service, which is pretty cool. But something that's free are text video messages. I think a lot of us are underestimating the power of text video messages. I've been talking about text video messaging since way before this was going on. And it's really powerful just to do a quick, hi guys, how are you? Hope you are well. If you guys need absolutely anything, I'm reaching out to all of my past clients or all my family and friends. And I just want to make sure that, you know, you and the dogs and the kitty and the kids and however you want to frame it are doing okay. You know, do you guys need anything? Do you need toilet paper? Ha ha ha. You know, that kind of thing. I think that's what we need to be doing right now. Tom Ferry, I was on his call. I think I listened to the recording, which was from Thursday. I listened to it on Saturday. And he said, he's telling his agents or his clients to reach out to 20 to 30 people a day right now with those kind of calls. And he's saying, do a video text, get on the phone and call them, do a Zoom call, FaceTime, whatever you want. But he's saying 20 to 30 people a day. Because the truth is, if you look at the progression of what happened in China, the number of new cases in Italy right now, in the first time in the entire time we've been going through this, is now starting to peak and go down. We're only 2 to 3 weeks away from maybe the peak of what's actually happening. So his big pitch to everybody is, hey, if you're not prospecting, if you're not taking the time right now to video chat with these people and show them that you care, what's going to happen when May rolls around and we're seeing the end of this? Or what happens when June rolls around and it's back to normal? You know, he said, what is going to happen to you in your business? And I think that's what we need to be doing right now. There's lots of things to be grateful for. I mean, look at our own office. In the past 7 days, these were stats we pulled up on the fly on the phone call yesterday. And it was 22 closings, 12 new listings and 21 new pending sales in the last 7 days in our own company. I mean, we're having a great March as it is, but the fact that 21 new deals went in amidst everything that's going on shows that people are still doing everything that they were doing. We had a couple of agents who had deals cancel, and within hours, literally, they went back into escrow. So with buyers who were like, hey, we don't really care what's going on. We understand it's going to fly by, just like it happened in China. It will be here. It will be gone. And then we still need a house. So there are lots of people that are still motivated. And I think you guys need to share that. I know Casey's working on a graphic for us right now. I think the 22 closings.
Yeah. With the stats you just shared.
Yeah. So you guys can text that out to your clients, email it to your clients, whatever you want to do. But that's a good thing, I think, to share. Anybody have any like best practices or anything on this? I know I've been talking a lot.
So Nick, I and everyone else, I just shared the broker content hub that CB has put out. They sent it to all the like managers and staff throughout the nation, this link. I just put that in the chat box. We're personalizing a lot of that content in there, so you guys have it CBCA branded. But in the meantime, if you want to just click through that, there's a ton of messages and different things, articles and links and graphics that you guys can send out to your clients that talk about what's happening right now, and all have a very positive message behind it. So you can just check that out for some inspiration, but mostly everything on there, David Etheridge, my partner, my assistant, and I, we're in the works of personalizing all of that and changing it over to the CBCA branding for you guys. But in the meantime, if you want to just look through that, through like just for some inspiration, you're more than welcome to.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I
Kim.
just wanted to ask, everything that you're putting on the chat box, how will I be able to get that out of there later and use it?
I can save the chat apparently.
That's what they did with the Coldwell Banker online amp. So if you can send that out, then we can grab it from there. Because otherwise, I'm grabbing it, but I can't change screens fast enough to put it into a blank piece of Word doc or anything.
No, cool. I will go ahead and save it, and I'll email that out to you guys. No problem at all.
Thank you.
And thank you, Alma, for sharing the Facebook groups too. That's very, very, very helpful.
Oh, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I just want to let you guys know Nick is right on. We have to talk to our spare. I was very fortunate yesterday reaching out and checking on people. And I actually got a spare. One of the doctors I work for needs help finding a new lease. And I also had luck with a few other ones that we're under contract with them, just reminding them that this is our new protocol and we'll keep you updated, just to keep them on board with still, going through with the selling process and feeling like we're on top of things. That's all I want to say.
I think too, Chris mentioned yesterday that one of our agents in the office called 30 of her past clientele. She was like, you know what, I'm home. I'm just going to do this right now. She called 30. She got 3 listings and she had to go write an offer that same day for somebody that she was talking to because they were just getting excited about a property. So that's potentially 4 transactions from making 30 calls, you guys. So again, the point I'm trying to make is people still need help right now. There's a lot of fear and there's a lot of things like even these graphs that I was showing at the initial part of this call. You need to show them those things. You need to get them confident and excited about what's going on because we just don't want them to miss the boat if this all is blown over in 45 to 60 days. I think that's the big message here. All right, we're going to move on. So isn't this slide cute? This is like my favorite slide that
I literally can't get back to the slides after I clicked on the chat link. So I don't know what I did.
You see the little bar on your screen, Jen, because you should be able to pull it back up. No?
I don't. Oh, wait. No. Yeah. What else could you showcase online? Yeah, it's just different. Now I've got your face. I may have to click out and come back. I'll see you guys soon.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. What else could you showcase online? A lot of you are doing buyer seminars lately. I know Peggy Castle, I think Alma Michelle was doing it. you guys were doing buyer seminars, you were doing them in person, and you were having huge success with them, and all you were doing was promoting them online. So I thought, gosh, why not still prospect that way? Why not still do the same ads you guys were doing on Facebook and Instagram and pull people into a buyer seminar, put an Eventbrite behind it so you can invite people to it for free, and have a limited amount of spaces just like you normally would in person, and virtually have a buyer seminar. We're going to be talking about Zoom at the end of this call. So you guys can do screen sharing, and you could show documentation and offers and what they look like. You could do all the same stuff. My point is that you would do in person, just virtually, using Zoom. And you could do it all through having a buyer seminar. I wanted to give a shout out to Matt Welch, not to make him sound like a lush or anything, but he hosted a happy hour, and he actually said it was really fun. He hosted a happy hour. I think even Tom Ferry had hosted a virtual happy hour too. And he hosted it. He got to get in touch with his SOI and his clientele, and he had a really great time doing it. So that's something you could do right now, which would be something other than property in order to keep people upbeat and connected. You could have a virtual trivia night. I just got an invite on Sunday for one of my best friends who was doing a virtual trivia night, and they were still giving out prizes and all the normal stuff they would do on a trivia night. They were just doing it virtually, and you could basically type in your answers.
Fun.
They had a polling service, and I'll try to find out what that polling service was so people could type in their multiple choice, and it was not seen by everybody. So that could be something fun you do. Apparently Tom Ferry or somebody told me about yoga classes virtually. And I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday. Apparently a lot of personal trainers so for any of you that are in the fitness industry, or you have a friend that's in the fitness industry that's maybe struggling right now, maybe encourage them to do virtual classes, and then help promote that virtual class on your own Facebook page and get more people to come to it so you can be like a co-host with that trainer. I think would be a huge, huge, huge benefit to you and your business, and just kind of something different and more positive that you could be showcasing right now. All can be done right from your computer. Any thoughts, guys?
I love all those ideas.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's great. I love it.
Okay. This is what happens when you bury yourself in online content.
I literally can't see anything.
Oh, well, don't worry guys, because I'm also going to share the slides, so you will get to see it. Social media content. This is one of my ideas on the third bullet point here, but the very first thing is please tell a story. People need normal right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a huge thing. So if you're home and you're playing with your dog, and maybe instead of posting another article on the COVID-19 virus, maybe posting a video of you playing with your dog would be an incredible thing to do right now. Maybe having, you know what actually be really cool? I just thought of this. If you're a dog lover, hence Jennifer Peterson, if you're an animal lover, why not host like a doggy play date from your computer in your house, and like have all the dogs like sniff the screen and look at each other through the screen? Like how fucking cute would that be? Oh, I just said the F word. That's my first F word of the day. So how amazing would that be if you did like a doggy play date? And the next thing I wanted to say,
starting it right now.
are you starting? There you go. And engage, engage. I think that's the biggest thing right now. If you see somebody's hurting on your post, or on a post on Facebook or something, engage, reach out, connect. Even if you're too scared to do a Facebook Live video, which I hope most of you are not by the end of this call, engage with people. That's huge. Right now, how many businesses are hurting? Does everybody know a restaurant owner or a restaurant that's probably not doing so well? All of us probably, right? Have we thought about reaching out to that business owner and maybe doing like a Facebook Live, like GoFundMe or something like that?
Shout out to Jeanette. She's been doing a lot of community videos with how she's been supporting local businesses. So if you guys need any ideas, go check out Jeanette's
Oh, fantastic.
She's been doing an awesome job of that. So way to go, Jeanette.
Oh my gosh, good job. Freaking awesome. I have not seen everybody's content. So thank you for including that, Casey. But promoting a local business that's maybe not doing so well, that's a great way to take people's minds off of, all the crazy that's going out, and like, hey, let's help support our community. That's a great idea. It's your moment to get in front of people. I think that goes without being said. And again, like Casey had mentioned earlier in the call, social media is up 200%, guys. That means that a lot more people are on these platforms, okay? That's all that means. It means you need to be on there too. Jeanette says, follow me. That's funny. I will. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I don't know why I haven't seen your videos yet. No, they're not going to think you're a restaurateur. They're going to think that you are engaging and helping people. I think that's the message that we want to promote here. Remember, realtors are first and foremost community leaders. And so for you guys to be in front of your community that way, I think is crucial. Transactional communication. We've talked a lot about Zoom today. Here's where we're going to kind of get into how Zoom works. So, and then I'll probably finish up our call today. It's just how Zoom actually operates and works. So I'm just going to give you some best practices and kind of the formatting for it. Cool thing is you can share docs through chat. I'll kind of point out where that is in a little bit. You can screen share like I've been talking about ad nauseum. And those are the different plans right in front of you guys. They can get more complex than this, but for you guys as real estate professionals, you probably won't need to get more complex than the free plan. So they've got that basic personal meeting free plan. This is going to be great for those one-to-one client meetings. This is going to be great for maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 people that want to get on a call. And you're going to have 40 minutes up to 40 minutes to use that group meeting. If you guys want to elevate to something where you're going to promote yourself maybe on Facebook or Facebook Live or whatnot, you can get the pro version. And you could do a class or whatnot on the pro version for $14.99 a month. That's what our entire company is using right now, is the $14.99 a month option. So that would be a great option if you guys want to take it to that degree. And then obviously you can see they cap out at about $20 a month for business or enterprise. Totally depending on your needs. I think most of you can get away with the free one. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. So this is a picture of what your dashboard would look like. Key things to keep in mind where you would actually, when to actually sign up, this is what your dash looks like. In the corner, you're going to see join a meeting or host a meeting. Those are the 2 tabs that you are going to be using when you actually go ahead and use this platform. So there's host a meeting, which means you can actually jump and do a meeting right now, or you could actually join another meeting or somebody that's hosting a meeting. Most of the time you're going to click through to here through host a meeting, and you're going to drop it down and just start a video call with your video on. Now, once you click that host a meeting, you're going to see a screen pop up like this. I got a couple of questions yesterday. That's why I included this today. See where it says openzoom.us? That's the button you're going to want to click on your computer to actually start the call. So don't be alarmed that a pop-up comes up on your screen. If you guys have any kind of pop-up blocker, make sure that you have that turned off, or you can go down here and hit the click here option to launch the meeting as well. So there's a click here option down below that launching ... You'll see that highlighted in blue. If you don't see the pop-up, you can always hit the little click here option as well. It'll do the same effect for you. Then you'll see your face pop up with a block right in front of you, and it's going to ask you about audio. And most of you, if you're on a laptop, guys, you've got your join with computer audio. So I would just go ahead and click that. For those of you that are on a desktop or whatnot, you can also use the phone call option at the top of that pop-up window, and you can dial in through a phone call as well. So video will be coming through your camera or your desktop or your laptop, and you actually will hear the sound through your phone next to you. So you can combine it that way too. And if you have any issues using that feature, let me know. And below, they've got a test speaker and microphone. So if you're not sure if you have a microphone, you can go through the test speaker and microphone option, and you can see whether it'll flat out tell you if you have a microphone or not. Because I know I'm going to get somebody who goes, well, I don't know if I have a microphone. And I'm going to go, well, go ahead and test it. So there you go. You're going to be camera ready, pants not required. That's the beautiful thing about this virtual world. I mean, think about pant sales for right now. Like blouses and tops are still going to be happening, right? But like, think about like pant sales right now. Pant sales have to be down because nobody.
I mean, you still have to leave the house in pants, right?
Yeah.
Or that's not allowed anymore.
I mean, you're not even really supposed to leave the house. I mean, think about it. Pant sales are down, I would think for sure. But this is what will happen. What? I know. Nicole's like,
yeah, leave the house. So who cares about pants?
Well, who cares about pants? Well, I mean, you left the house today, so good for you.
Nicole, are you wearing pants?
Now, when you guys see this camera ready, pants not required, whatever, this screen in front of you, you've got all these little clickable icons at the bottom. So we're going to pay attention to those for just a second. Let me go back one. you're going to see this little click to invite participants on this screen. Do you guys see that at the bottom? The little invite plus, little head plus thing. That's where you can invite people to your call. So like, let's say you want to go over what an offer is going to look like with a client, or let's say you need to just do a call with somebody to check in with sphere of influence, or like a family call, whatever it may be. You can invite people just by clicking on that little icon there. And then it prompts you to a screen here, and you can invite people through your Gmail contacts, through your default email. You can invite people through Yahoo email if that's what you use. What's most popular, honestly, is that little copy URL, copy invitation option. And then you can just like text it or email it over however you want to do it. That's what I've been doing. I hit copy URL, and that's how I texted all of you today, that URL that you could just click through today for today's call. Does that make sense? So that's the most common feature or common way to invite people from what I can tell, and the easiest. Is just to copy the URL or copy the invitation attached. Now, the difference between copy URL and copy invitation is copy URL is just going to be like a website address for them to click through to get to the meeting. Copy invitation is going to be the list of phone numbers they can dial in, the website that they can go to, also the meeting ID and password if they do happen to call in as well. So, because you do need the password and the meeting ID to call in. So keep in mind, that's the difference between the URL version where you can just click through right away, and the invitation. If people are going to use a phone version of this, instead of actually having the video, just vocals, they do need that password and meeting ID.
Is that what you put on Facebook, Nick? The invitation or the meeting?
I would just do the URL if I was going to put it on Facebook, so people could just click through. That would make it so much simpler, because you'll notice when you do the invitation, it's very messy looking. It's not pretty.
Yeah, it's long.
It's very long. Yeah. If you guys have checked out our Google Calendar at all, they're very long with like 8 different phone numbers for all parts of the US. So I would just go ahead and make it simple with the URL if I was going to promote it.
Okay.
Now, the cool thing that I love about this Zoom call, like you guys have been using today, is the chat. So when you guys click on that little chat bubble at the bottom, it pulls up the window to the side here. And then you can communicate with everybody through there. This is also where you can upload docs. So like I've told a lot of people, like if you have to go over disclosures right now with a client, this is where I would upload the docs to and be able to pull them up on screen share and show them exactly what we're looking at. Right?
Hey, Nick,
Go ahead.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
So what happened to me though is when I clicked on that chat, I don't know if it happened to everyone else, but it opened up what the link was, but then it pulled me out of it. Like right now, I can't see. I can see a very tiny version of the document that you're showing, but I can't. It disappeared from my screen, and I've been playing around trying to figure out how to get it all back. I don't know if anyone else had that problem, but I wouldn't want my clients to have that problem, so I have to figure that out. If you can, like literally, I'm seeing the participants, but I'm not seeing, you know.
When you go up to the very top of your screen, is your communication bar at the top or at the bottom? Because there should be like a little ... more tab, and then you can kind of go ahead and pull up different things here.
Well, I got like that, the ... but it's just stop video, mute my audio, unpin video, rename or hide self view. Those are the choices. Like I don't have. It's weird. I mean, I think I've popped on everything, but no one else had that problem. It appears. So I don't know.
If whoever had that issue, let's stay after the call and I can kind of help you dabble and see like what's going on. If I just do video to video, I can help you, because right now I've got a screen share going, so my tabs are a little bit different than normal. Yeah. So let me look at it when we're finished.
Jen, do you see at the top where it says you're viewing Nicholas's Montier screen at like the very top of your screen?
I don't see that at all. I don't see your viewing. I see, no, I don't. So maybe I'm just seeing something different. I'm just seeing everyone's faces right now. And then what Nick is sharing is completely gone unless I click on a square at the left, which I just did. So not sure. Anyway, continue. Sorry. I just was like,
no, we're pretty much done with today. The last thing I wanted to kind of open it up to you guys and just kind of show you, the messaging I'm getting from a lot of people across the, really the US, everybody I'm talking to right now is just, you need to become the positivity that we need right now. I need to not let fear dictate your life. That's a huge thing that I'm noticing. I think the fear is really creeping in to ourselves and even more importantly, our businesses. And it's kind of disabling us in a way when we need to be being as proactive and positive as possible. So does anybody have anything left to share? Any comments or questions or concerns that we need to, any comments or questions or concerns that Casey and I can address?
I just have like a very easy request for you guys. I don't know if some people saw it yesterday. I'm trying to create some fun social media graphics, not just about like tips for cleaning and the, COVID top 5 things to do. And so I would love if you guys would email me or text me some sort of like fun picture of you guys working from home. If you don't want to be in it because you're not, camera ready, you can put a fabulous filter on it and send it to me. Or you can put, your cat or your dog in it. Just something fun. I'm going to be making some cute collages and just some other fun social pieces that are showing we as a company are still working, we're still going forward, we're still kicking ass in the community, and we are here. So it's like, I'm just trying to keep that momentum going throughout our social, but with clothes on, please. Yes, Nicole, that is key.
Darn it.
Great tip. Pants optional still. But if you guys would do that,
I'm thinking maybe I can pick up.
What, Jen?
I was just gonna say, I mean, should we say, no pants? I mean, maybe this is the whole way to pick up new clients.
Yeah, it could be
a little bit more bold. I don't know. I'm trying to think of different things to do. No? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
It could take off. It could be fun. But I would appreciate if you guys would just help me out with that.
I definitely will. That'd be fun. I think that's a really good idea. Put like a funny slideshow together, even videos, maybe, right? Too. Right?
Yeah, just something. I mean, I'll take whatever you guys will send me.
Maybe we could do one of those like messaging things about like from realtors. Like we could all come up with a really cute something about.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Make signs, and then you could cut it together, kind of like.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
We're still busy. We're keeping. Or no, I mean, as a group, as opposed to just, and then just feature a bunch of agents from the company. That could be kind of fun.